back to MyView TV, the people's platform, the home of undiluted news, reviews, updates, and your daily dose of entertainment. Don't forget to hit the notification bell, leave us a comment, like, share, and subscribe.
I don't bring nobody forward in here to cheer for me. Everything what you see up my natural talent. Let me tell you something. You see, when you know what to please the audience with, it's simple, me.
Wagwan, my people. Hope everybody doing okay. Hope everybody doing alright. Give thanks to life and the gathering. Catch your bunks, I'm going to tell you the truth now. I don't know how to start the review. You know, if I when I try to start the review and I don't know what to say or how to say it, to make it make sense. But the only thing we can say is this. We need to start all people accountable. You understand? Yeah, man. Head need to start roll. Leroy Smith dropped down at the Sangster International Airport right down at Montego Bay down there, so. And things where we are here, it's not pleasing. Yeah, man, very disheartening. I'm being honest with you. When they down there, no. One lady they down there. And I want to hear a lady have to say. Yeah, man, me need you know to listen what the lady had to say.
Hi, everyone. This is not something that I normally do. As a matter of fact, I've never done it before. But I believe that there is a need to do this today. I'm doing this. I'm live at this Sangster International Airport on my way back home to America. Taking flight JetBlue. So we arrived at the airport just about 11 o'clock there. Near 11 o'clock or a little bit after. We were at the gate, not the gate, sorry, the counter. Actually, I was at the kiosk. And while I was waiting at the kiosk, you know, to operate the kiosk, a gentleman was behind me, one of the agents, speaking to another man. But I didn't pay them much attention, but I know they were talking. And then I just heard like somebody fell. I looked behind me. It was the passenger, an elderly man that fell. Blood was coming, I think, from his nose. And the agent who he was talking to, who had just stepped off for a little, just turned his back, turned around, and you know, took up his head and tried to clear his passages. And I was saying, somebody call 911 or 119, whatever the case is. And I was saying to him, give him CPR. But he said to me, he's breathing. He's breathing, and of truth, he was breathing and, you know, doing a little bit of shuffling, slight shuffling. So, you know, when I saw a lot of blood coming from his head, I couldn't see the wound, but the blood was on the floor at his head. So I went into his bag. I saw his passport. No, his passport was on the ground beside him. So I took it up, put it in his bag. I looked at his bag and I saw his name, the name tag on the bag. So I could say what his name was. And then I was saying to the gentleman, you know, we were there conversing, and I said, somebody call help. So in the meantime, I guess somebody was making a call. Somebody did say that they called whatever. I think they said operations or something. Right? And while they were there, nobody, you know, and it took about between 20 minutes and half an hour for a lone nurse to come by. Right? And while the man was there, while the young guy was there with him, trying to keep his head up and all of that, I went into his bag and I saw a roll of tissue. And I gave him the roll of tissue, the entire roll, and tell him to press it on the wound. You know, try to press it on the wound on the head. Anyways, the nurse finally came and she said she was checking his oxygen, you know. In the meantime, I took out his phone. I got his phone and was searching his phone to see if I could find a number, a recent number. And we were making calls using our phone. And because we couldn't place any calls on his phone. And then the JetBlue lady came and she took his phone and she went on the phone myself and her, we were going through what to find a number that we think we could call. So she called the number. While she was calling the number, another gentleman who came, I don't know who he represents, but he's with the airport. He's with the airport, he had on one of those vests. And he was saying, tell the, because we got through to the person on the phone, and the lady was telling him that, you know, the customer, I won't say his name, the passenger, he collapsed, you know, and he's at the airport. So she said she was trying to get somebody, you know. He was there now telling us to tell him, or telling the JetBlue lady to tell the person on the phone that the single ambulance that is at Cornwall Regional is not available. And for them to call a private ambulance, the person on the phone has to approve the payment of $400 US. They have to confirm that it's okay for them to call the ambulance and noting the payment of $400 US. So I said, we have to wait for them to do that to get help for the man. The man need help. The man, I saw the man gap. I never see somebody gap, or what they call it, catch breath, in my entire life. First time I'm seeing that, right? And the man was gapping, right? And the man was saying, so I said, why you need to tell them that? Why you need to get $400, or to confirm that then we pay $400 before you call that? You understand? So that is stupid. So the nurse was saying, if they can't get the ambulance, then they'll get the taxi. Miss, get the taxi. I'll pay the money for him. I'll pay the taxi. Get the taxi. You understand? So they tried to let me know that it's protocol, and they have to get the approval from the family member to call the ambulance, to call the private ambulance, which will cost $400 US. The man at the airport, waiting and ready to go back to America, taking JetBlue, right? And he would have paid his fare to go on the flight. So I'm saying, could not JetBlue or even the airport take that cost? They have to depend, or they have to wait until a family member says that it's okay to go ahead and call the ambulance. Mark, the man came to the airport, whoever got him there left him, an elderly man. Understand? And I'm saying, come on, man. That is how we do things here. The man stayed right there on the floor and died. The man died on the floor. He died. My God. Because people are going to talk about you have to get approval to call an ambulance. Look how many people travel in the airport daily. Hundreds of thousands of people travel through the airport daily. And we don't have nothing in place for things like this. We don't have nothing in place for things like this. It just made me wonder if it was a white person, if it would have been the same treatment. I'm thinking this could happen to anybody. It could happen to me. It could happen to anybody at all, right? You know, just stay there and die. It takes so long to make a decision when people's life is dependent on it. We have to do better. Jamaica, JetBlue, I'm calling you out on this one, because you should have been there for the man. You shouldn't be asking that question. He was your passenger, and him at the airport, and he was talking to an agent, right? Getting whatever information he needed to get on the plane to check in, and he collapsed right there. All of that come talk about. We have to get approval from the family to call an ambulance to pay $400 US first, to find out how, if they're gonna pay $400 US before. Man, this is one of the worst experiences I've ever had in my entire life. You know, I'm calling out whoever is in charge of stuff like these, man. They need to do better. There should be an area in the airport to reach people. One ambulance, the Cornwall Regional Hospital, one ambulance, and because it is not available, a private ambulance has to be called, and before it is called, there has to be confirmation, right, or whatever that, the $400 it's okay to call them. We will pay the $400. Oh, Jesus. God help us. God help us, man.
Mr. Smith had an accident and we need our family to come back to the airport. I asked what's happening. The person said she was unable to give me much information over the phone at the time, and that Mr. Smith had an accident. All she can say is that he had an accident and he's on the floor. He's still on the floor and he's unconscious, and they're going to perform CPR. All right. So I said, don't you have an ambulance to rush him to the hospital? She said, the ambulance is on the way. All I'm hearing is they're doing CPR and ambulance is on the way. And to the point where I'm like, are you telling me that there is nothing else that can be done? He's just on the floor like that? She said, I cannot disclose anything. We were doing CPR. They were doing CPR on him, and now they cover him up. Miss, what do you mean them cover him up? What that mean? Did he die?
Nurse was saying if they can't get the ambulance, then they'll get the taxi. Miss, get the taxi. I'll pay the money for him. I'll pay the taxi. Get the taxi. Get the taxi. The nurse had come, which was about, I would say 20 minutes to half an hour after he fell. The nurse had come and she started to do whatever she needed to do.
My report will be able to speak specifically to what happened because there are cameras there, CCTV cameras, and therefore everything should be to the second in relation from when the incident happened to when he was removed. My understanding when I asked is that they have access to up to 7 ambulances, and the proximity from Hospital to Montego Bay Airport is not that far.
I want to begin first for offering sincere condolences to the family of that gentleman. It's really an unfortunate situation, but we must set the record straight. The Connery Regional Hospital has 4 spanking new ambulances that is operational at the moment. The last one was put in service just over 2 weeks ago. Those 4 ambulances is supported by another brand new ambulance that is at the St. James Health Department. A nurse is on site at that facility, I know very well. And she probably would have responded to that incident. But as far as I am aware, the ambulatory services at that facility, the Montego Bay Airport, is privatized. So we would seek to find out how they respond and what time they respond. That could have provide some amount of care immediately to that gentleman.
Thanks for watching. This was a MyView TV production. Remember to share, like, comment, subscribe, click the notification bell, tell a friend for tell a friend, and remember, it never bring nobody forward for cheer for him. Walk good.